Okay, chaps. I want to circle back to Disney Doctor Who.
Well, the Commanders reviewed every episode. What more is there to say about it?
How about its disingenuous connection to Star Wars? Hit it!
What do you mean, a disingenuous connection to Star Wars?
Listen, I'm not making this up. It's actually something Russell T Davies said himself in a recent interview for Doctor Who Unleashed. In it, he said, "This is kind of my reaction to, bear with me now, the Star Wars films. I can't remember their titles, but in the last trilogy, the second film said that Daisy Ridley was nothing special. There was nothing special about her parentage. She was just ordinary, an ordinary person with the Force. And then the next one, they changed it all so that she was the child of the Emperor, and they made her, she was like cosmic and had godlike powers. And I really loved the version where she wasn't special, when she's ordinary. So this is my reaction to that. She's not the daughter of Sutek, she's not the daughter of the Time Lord or of Rassilon or something like that. Her mom is Louise Miller, who was 15 years old and pregnant from a dangerous home, an abusive home, and left her child on the doorstep. And that's my reaction to it, because I think it's a better story.
Well, you've got to admit having an ordinary hero is much better than one who was destined to save the day because of their supernatural powers or destiny or something.
Hey, there are many good arguments for that. It makes a character more relatable and all that, but you know what? For Doctor Who, or even for Russell T Davies, this is nothing new. From the very beginning, this immortal, indestructible Time Lord, this alien time traveler, has had regular human companions. And every single one of those RTD invented were just ordinary humans. Rose Tyler. Adam Mitchell.
Who's he?
He's the guy who briefly traveled with them to the future and got himself a brain interface.
Oh, yeah.
Jack Harkness.
Well, he's far from ordinary. He was totally immortal.
Not at first. He was just a cowardly opportunist from the future until he got Captain Scarleted at the end of the first series. Then we had Donna Noble, Martha Jones, Astrid Perth.
Oh, I love Kylie. La la
Donna.
la,
Again.
La 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 la.
Gigi,
Yes?
you ever heard of copyright infringement?
Sorry.
Where was I? Oh yes, Jackson Lake.
The guy who thought he was an ex-doctor?
The very same. Lady Christina de Souza.
A cat burglar.
Still a human with ordinary human skills, though. Adelaide Brooke.
That was so tragic.
She had to do what she had to do to restore the timeline. And finally, Donna Noble once more. That's 9 unique companions over 4 years, and every single one of them were simple, plain, ordinary humans.
Well, some had a particular set of skills.
Of course they did, but nothing any other human couldn't have learned themselves. So why did RTD say Ruby and her mom were ordinary people, as if that was some kind of extraordinary plot twist that he only just thought of because he watched The Last Jedi? He's been doing that since 2005. 12 years before The Last Jedi came out and destroyed the franchise.
So, he's talking bollocks.
Well, what RTD did in his latest series of Doctor Who is exactly what J.J. Abrams and Rian Johnson did wrong with Star Wars, and what made The Last Jedi so divisive. You see, J.J. loves to set up mystery boxes.
He does. He really loves those. Like, how and why did C-3PO get a red arm?
That never was answered because JJ's never really been interested in resolving the mysteries he sets up. So, in The Force Awakens, there's this huge question mark over Rey. Who is she? Why is she such a great pilot? Why is the Force so strong with her even though she's never been trained or even knew of the Force's existence before the movie started? How was she able to have visions? Why was Luke's lightsaber calling out to her?
Like a wand from Harry Potter.
Yes, it was ridiculous, but still, it's in the movie, so it's canon, I guess. But anyway, all this led people to excitedly speculate for years about her heritage, where she came from, only for Ryan to tear it all down by saying, she's nobody, her parents were filthy junk traders. It's a good idea in isolation, but it doesn't work if you take into account all the setup done about the mystery surrounding her in the previous movie.
And then JJ undid what Ryan did when he directed the next movie.
Yeah, spoiled entitled film directors playing tug-of-war with the very fabric of a franchise without caring about the damage they cause. Anyway, this rewriting of Rey's backstory is exactly what happened in this Doctor Who season. I mean, maybe people are different in Wales where RTD grew up, but usually, ordinary people can't make it snow outdoors, let alone indoors, don't have an inner song that would terrify a god, and don't have a mother that can rewrite time, making her not point at something one moment and point determinedly at a signpost that wasn't there before the next time you revisit that very same moment.
Since when do 15-year-olds wear massive Holocaust cloaks?
That's really the least mysterious thing, frankly. Maybe she thought she looked good in it. Maybe she borrowed it from Andre the Giant.
Maybe it's Maybelline.
But the thing is, none of those other things are what normal, ordinary people can do. So, when a writer presents us with a character that can do all of that, like JJ did, of course we're going to think he's taking us down a very sci-fi-y fantastical route. But then, just like Ryan, he baits and switches and makes that character ordinary. Is it any wonder people are pissed off?
He wants Ruby to be like common people. He wants her to do whatever common people do. He wants her to make it snow like common people.
GG.
Sorry.
And to make matters worse, Ryan just did his own thing and chose to ignore everything JJ had set up in the previous movie. Stupid decision, but he's his own person and no one stopped him doing it. Here, it was RTD who introduced us to this fantastical mystery, and it was the very same RTD who erased his own premise and destroyed his own setup. No one came and retconned his idea behind his back. He did it all himself. How can anyone say this is good storytelling?
You think he'll do a Rise of Skywalker switch by making Ruby special again in Season 2? Maybe because of her father instead of her mother?
Great iridescent egg, I certainly hope not.
Not that it would explain how Ruby's mom could rewrite time.
And frankly, after this lackluster reveal, does anyone care? Fool me once, eh? But you know the crazy thing? Had Ruby not been ordinary, as everything was pointing to, it would have actually been a first for RTD, a non-ordinary companion. Ordinary people saving the day, the world, the universe is nothing new for him, and he did it all well before The Last Jedi ever came out.
So why did he make such a connection that doesn't make sense chronologically?
No idea. Could it be because now that Disney's distributing Doctor Who outside the UK, he has to mention another Disney-owned franchise to keep getting those sweet Disney dollars? Don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. Anyway, I think I made my point. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll give you the response you deserve.